This game does not need an intro. So I finally get to talk about this game. It's the best game of all time, for goodness sake. I'll have to explain about everything. So I'll be having a video of it that was in Creative Curriculum playing in the background. So sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy. Oh my gosh, is this game amazing. This was probably the first game I've ever played. I'm unsure whether it was New Super Mario Bros. Or this game. Tell me what you think in the comments. Now, this game was based off of the probably the best 60s cartoon series out then. Wacky Races. This was released in the Dreamcast, just called Wacky Races. But they had to make sure it was completely different by just calling it Wacky Races starring Dastardly and Muttley for the PlayStation 2. Now, there are many types of graphics. I prefer it without outlines, so it looks a bit more realistic in sorts. Okay, now the characters. The characters all look just like they did in the cartoons. And the hood, wow, the hood's amazing. There's an arrow, there's a timer, there's a lap counter, there is tokens which you use the items, there's a place counter, a thing showing all the free items you can use, and even a mini-map. And the mini-map's really good to indicate. Computer players are grey, player 1 is green, player 2 is red, player 3 is, I think it was, blue, and player 4 is yellow. I think that's how it went, I'm unsure. Now, the gameplay is really swift and fast. It's so fast that some people can't even focus on the game. Probably the best part about the game is all of these cool items. My favourite has to be the shrink ray. It basically shrinks the enemies down really small. The shields are pretty good too, but my favourite's the bowling ball, the shields. Even though it doesn't boost you, it's so satisfying to use it. There are heli stuff not needed for the Red Max as he's a helicopter. And the timer is actually similar to real lifetimes, and it has 2 digits at the end. This was made by Infogrames, and I got to give them a huge applauding. I can't believe they actually made this before I can't believe they made this and realized mistakes after they made which is Bugs Bunny's Lost in Time. Now, cards actually have really good animations. And there is actually only one problem I find with the game. The disc is purple. So, basically, whenever a PS2 falls onto the floor, the disc breaks. Do you know what's weird, guys? I always find that my favorite games on the PS2 always have a purple disc and not a silver one. And that means they're less durable, but I'll definitely buy more copies. Also, guys, I've went through 6 copies of this. Now, there are loads of bosses in the game, 3 to be exact, and they're not exactly boss fit. So, the game is pretty easy if you set it on easy difficulty. It's not that hard if you put it on hard, but it's pretty difficult if you put it on dastardly. So it has a bit of the easier side. You remember Wacky Races Mad Motors in Mario Kart 64, right? They actually have rubber banding. While this game, even if it did have rubber banding, you could just easily stay away from them and it would be so little. Yes, there is no rubber banding in this game, which means you can own the bosses. There is even a big head cheat, which is nicknamed Wacky Kids. You know where it's getting to, right? Here is a big secret for you. Every single time I play this game, I think I shed a tear. No, not in rage, in happiness. I couldn't picked a better game to 100%. And yes, this is the first game I have 100%ed, so that's a very cherished memory of mine. I think it's the first game I 100%ed. It couldn't have been New Super Mario Bros. Because I didn't get all the star coins to that. But this game, beaten all the challenges, got all the bosses, got all the abilities, and I've got all the mirrors. And I've even got all the clocks! I've got everything! Literally everything! 100%, so that's a very cherished memory of mine. And the bosses, they are actually a bit smarter than AI drivers, and they try to use the best weapons they can. If I was to suggest anything you use, if you're battling against Professor Pat Pending, don't waste a slot equipping a shield, as he actually has offensive attacks. For the red max, I would actually have a flight ability, so you can hover above the lake, unless you're willing to boost, I guess. Now, dastardly, you're going to want to have a mine ability, an attack ability. Wait, no, not that. A boost ability, a shield ability, and an attack ability. The traditional circle, hey? Now, the most powerful character, stats-wise, is Professor Pat Pending. So when you unlock him, I'd use him as much as possible. Now, this game actually has a special battle mode. And
recording.
Yeah, I am recording. Can you please not chat to me until I'm done? Because there is actually a video I'm going to put over it. Now, Carter, don't you know that this is actually one of the first games I ever 100%ed? Because this is 100%. Now, now the graphics are quite pleasant. All the characters are well designed, and there is a widescreen mode to support TVs. The Dreamcast version only runs at 30 frames per second, but what keeps the gameplay really quick is that this stays at 60 frames per second. And even the best games of today actually hold up to that. So, and I think this game has dated really well.
Do you know what my remote is, Connor? My PS3 remote.
Now, the last thing I'd like to explain is if you're on the final dastardly boss. Oh yeah, spoilers. Basically, you're fighting on the Snowtop Drop stage, as in not fighting, but racing. Then you race on that Redwood Valley stage, which Red Max has. Then finally on his stage. Can be a little difficult first time, and we only beat it once when we were younger. But still, these days it's hilarious and very easy. But still, this game, I don't have anything else to say about it. It's just, you play it yourself and you'll know what I'm talking about. 10 out of 10!